Hey guys, hey everyone. So I just wanted to first update that I have revamped my website. I've added my YouTube account and I've added my podcast. I have also added a group site. So I have added up to my thing. I'm still fighting with Google trying to get Google ads on my website. Hopefully that works out. But yeah. Also, I had to have a donation page on my website if you could please help out. But so getting back to my video today is I want to talk about experiments and ethics. I mean, it's always, if you followed me before, if you watched my videos before, you would know that I was an undergraduate psychology major till I switched to global political studies. And what always bothered me about psychology was the ethics of it and the experiments. Like, if my previous videos kinda, like, it's about animal rights, so this kind of functions in about we test things on animals, which does not always correlate to it working on humans, so it's inefficient. And it's just wrong. Like, why are we hurting animals that way? Like, we should do it on ourselves. It's just more efficient. And we do it by individualist ethical ways, so the Western like morals, I guess like Lockean and stuff like that. But I'm more Hobbes and Bentham utilitarianism, where I believe it should be weighing the good of the many outweighing the good of the one. And also based on equality by John Mills, like, if you're just a random Joe versus somebody who's has the ability to cure cancer, they're obviously better. That person who can cure cancer is worth like thousands of people, you understand? Same why presidents get security details to protect them, because their life isn't considered as great as the president's. And basically, I also think it should, with experiments and stuff, it's all about making sure that people can do it and making sure it's safe. Like, why do we have to worry about if it's safe? Like, again, testing it on animals first. It should be tested on humans. And of course, people should volunteer for it. And it will be able, and they'll be paid daily for it, or if they die, it goes to their family. So I don't get what's wrong with that, and that will also help other people. And that's why I always promote a collectivistic value where you shouldn't put yourself above others. And I think that's a really important aspect of that, is if somebody needs blood or they need experiments to be done to figure out something, I think people should be able to do that. And of course, we're getting gray in genes, and as I said, artificial wombs. Like, we could, this is tiny bit unethical, but there could be people bred just for scientific experiments. Kind of, if you ever watched My Sister's Keeper, the child basically went into court fight because their parents, they did IVF specifically so that their child can donate their organs to their other child. And I think generally, and also if you watch Regenesis in season 1, one of the father basically cloned his son so he could, with a little genetic difference, so that he could donate to his son who has, I think, a bone marrow disease or something, and he genetically altered it so the cloned one doesn't have bone marrow disease, so they could help them. And I think basically making people for that specific purpose, and obviously with genetic editing and all that stuff, who knows, like, or in the artificial womb, they could be made to be less intelligent or more adaptable, like something that would be good for scientific research. Because I also think most scientific research can help a lot of people, and especially one of the biggest debates is how to raise a child properly. And if we took, let's say, 10 children from birth and raised them each differently, and then we find out later, and basically they all have the same genetic traits and everything, this environmental is different, we will then find out which one kind of works best, or we might find out it's a case-by-case basis, and if we learn more about genetics and have genetic editing, it'll also be better. And especially in a capitalist society where it's money over profit, some diseases that only affect a few hundred, well, that wouldn't matter in my type of government, because those people would probably get a cure faster, because it doesn't depend how much money they can make, it depends on care. And also our healthcare system, because doctors want to save everyone or donate this money to cure cancer. Do you know how much money these people, like, it's why there's a conspiracy that they know how to cure cancer, they're just hiding it, because they make millions, if not billions, off of cancer donations and all that stuff. And it's the same with hospitals. Hospitals treat the sick. If there's no sick, how are they gonna do it? I was watching this weird documentary about this man from the supposed future telling how the world would look like. But one of his ideas was kind of, I think it's ideas because he wasn't a time traveler, but his ideas was that people, instead of being paid to cure a sick person, they're paid until somebody gets sick. Because care, and it's same with Cuba, it's basically what's in Cuba. In Cuba, their healthcare is basically preventative. They don't focus on when you get the illness. They're having healthcare with you constantly to prevent you getting an illness, so you're always healthy. Cuba is one of the most healthiest places in the world, I'm pretty sure. And their healthcare system's one of the best because they're preventative. And I think that's the way it should be for all. And especially, like, there's this scan, I'm not sure if I've heard of it, where it's a full MRI scan. It costs like $700 to get done, I think. And it basically can point out what's wrong with your body. And that would be very important for a lot of people. That would help everyone if we were in a communist-like government like I envision. And I also think a lot of, like, autism, gender dysphoria, being a psychopath, sociopath. Now, of course, with artificial wombs and genetic editing, hope to get rid of all of that. But before that, we could scan, if we could scan everybody in the world with an MRI, we could tell if they have gender dysphoria, if they're schizophrenic, if they're a psychopath, if they have autism. So instead of where we have to worry about if people are lying and just giving textbook answers, we can then find out if it's actually true. And it's why it's also really good for science, because I also think gay and trans is by hormones. I don't think it's a gene, I think it's hormones. So I think artificial wombs could help eliminate that and again create an asexual being like I envision. But I think looking at that, and it also gives us proof that these things are real and that it's not just fake, and it's that some people have to really endure. And the same, like, religious, like, I'm not going to vaccine my kid because of religious reasons, or they're not going to give blood, or they're not going to, like, you're endangering your child. That's why I think I don't want parents, like, I want it to be the children are basically owned by the government, like, there's no parents anymore, especially because doing things like that, like, religious ideals should not get in the way of health.